out of that rally, he said, than I did, and I was running for the U.S. Senate.
And how about this other picture, Grandma?
This one was taken in 1945.
45.
Right after he was...
No, that was taken in 1944, approximately in August, right before Alonzo left for Europe.
That's right.
And he served with the 84th Infantry Division, and they served in the Battle of the Ardennes. And Alonzo was killed the 3rd day of January 1945, and he was killed right in the outskirts of a little town by the name of Beffe, B-E-F-F-E, in Belgium. And Beffe, the Battle of the Ardennes, of course, was very close to La Roche and Marche, Belgium, and really just a few miles away from the Bastogne. And the Bastogne was where the heaviest fighting of the war occurred.
Children that turned out to be angels that you're aware of?
Yeah, I don't remember. They all gave us a little problem of their own. It wasn't bad though.
Were you a strict parent, or?
No, I know Lee was the one that took all that. I didn't have much to do with their spanking or nothing. Lee was the one that took
Dan
care of
was the one that was the angel.
Brittany, come here.
Oh yes, I was. I'm still the angel.
Uncle Dan never did nothing wrong.
Angel.
Uncle Dan never did nothing wrong. Ask Grandma.
When Dad carried that strap around, Dad had a nice strap that he carried. It was an image maker, and it just said made saints out of Gloria and Santana and Matilda and
For sure.
Bob and Phil, and he used to use it once in a while.
In the kindergarten or first grade, I don't know what it was, and then he went half a year to school, or he said we sent him to school, and then he come back home with this little lunch, you know, and he come home, and then he kept it up until the first of the year, and then Lee one day was sit down there and got his belt, you know, and start stripping it, and he says, "What are you doing that for?" Making that for, you know, he started braiding it, and he says to use it on little boys that don't go to school. So after the first of the year, you know, he started going to school, and he started going, and he did just barely stop now.
And I'm still going to school.
And where did you go to school, and where did you get your degree, and in what?
Well, I have a bachelor's degree from the University of Northern Colorado, a master's degree from the University of Colorado, and I've also studied at the University of Paris, the University of Valladolid in Spain, Central Washington State College in the state of Washington, the University of West Virginia in Morgantown, West Virginia. I don't know. I've been to a lot of schools.
And the graduates from the School of Hard Knocks over here? And when did you graduate from high school?
In 1947.
At what high school?
At Fort Collins High School.
It was the only one in town at the time?
Right.
And you worked where at?
I worked at Dal's and Ruth's cafeteria, and at that time, where else I babysat, did things like that. I was part of the Cherry Street gang.
That's involved throughout the year.
Yeah.
I graduated
still
from.
belong to him.
I graduated from Holy Family in 1948, the 8th grade. Then I graduated from Fort Collins High School in 1952. And in 1954, I graduated from Bonnie's Beauty School. Then I raised 6 children, and
And you've worked as a beautician cosmetologist for many years.
just for a while, before the kids were all born, I worked at Cruz Bags Beauty Salon in Pueblo.
Book of 1985, and this contains the history of the Lee Martinez family and the Jose Valerio Martinez family and the Lucas Martinez family and the Ben Aragon family and Willie Lopez and family, and this was published in 1985.
Where can a person get a copy now?
Oh, they're no longer available. These, you can read them. There are copies available at the local library, but there are no longer copies available for purchase. These books are...
But this is your own personal copy?
Yeah, this is grandmother's copy. This is my mom's copy.
Went to California and all over and took pictures, and I had this
Every
paper.
time she takes pictures.
Oh.
John.
Why don't you also take note that that this book contains a history of Juan Fuyana, Father Juan Fuyana, who was our parish priest from about 1935 until 1951 at Holy Family Catholic Church.
And now has an elementary school.
Yes, the old LaPorte Avenue School was a new school was built, and the school was renamed the Juan Fuyana Elementary School.
Okay, what about now also telling us about the park?
Oh, the park, the Lee Martinez Park was dedicated in 1985. It was named in honor of my father, and my dad had a couple of sayings that were put on the plaque that is on the shelter at the park, and one of his sayings was, "Yo sé quién soy," I know who I am. And another one of his sayings was, "Tengan caridad," have charity. And it's a real honor that this was named for my dad, because Dad used to fell trees. And in those days, the city and Dad would haul the stumps and haul the wood from the trees into that area. And of course that was cleaned out, and the farm that existed there was purchased, and I think it's about a 53-acre park with a river trail, and I think that presently goes approximately 14 to 17 miles of trail that is next to the park.
And of course is the site of all of our annual Martinez get-togethers.
That's right. Reunions every other year at the park. Pretty good. You got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's
More than that. Martinez and Eva Martinez family, their children were Joseph Alonzo, born the 18th of August 1925, Daniel Florencio, the 3rd of May 1927, Santana Onofre, the 10th of July 1929, Ascension Matilda, the 13th of October 1930, Cecilia Evangeline, the 20th of March 1932, Gloria Ernestine, the 6th of September 1934, Anthony Nestor, or Nestor, the 13th of January 1937, and John Joseph Lee, the 28th of May 1939, Philip Duane, the 12th of April 1941, and Robert Lee, the 2nd of February 1945. born in Kersey, Colorado. I was born in Greeley, Colorado. Santana in Greeley, Colorado. Matilda in LaSalle, Colorado. Vanjie was born in Fort Collins. Gloria was born in LaSalle, Colorado. Anthony was born in Fort Collins. John Joseph was born in Fort Collins. Philip was born in Fort Collins. And Bob was born in Fort Collins. And he was the only one that was born in a hospital, I believe. All the others were delivered in at home.
Children have been real good, and I want to give them a blessing. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. As it was in the beginning, is now, and never shall be, world without end. Amen.